Princess Zara of the Vex Empire stood on the bridge of her warship, watching the small blue planet below. Her silver skin gleamed under the ship lights, and her 4 eyes focused on the target. Earth was supposed to be an easy conquest. The humans were primitive, backward creatures who barely knew how to leave their own atmosphere. But something felt wrong. Captain Lisa Rodriguez floated in her damaged fighter craft. The oxygen was running low and her radio was dead. She had been shot down during the first wave of the alien attack. Her ship drifted helplessly in space while massive alien vessels surrounded Earth like hungry predators. Zara watched the human fighter through her view screen. The small craft was clearly dying. Its pilot would be dead within minutes. She should have felt nothing. Humans were just another species to conquer. Yet something made her hesitate. The princess had studied human culture for months before the invasion. She learned their languages, their customs, their art. What surprised her most was their capacity for beauty. They created music that moved the soul and paintings that captured emotions she did not understand. How could such violent creatures make such wonderful things? Lisa saw the alien ship approaching. She prepared for death. She had fought bravely and protected as many civilians as she could. That would have to be enough. But instead of weapons fire, a tractor beam pulled her fighter into the alien vessel. Zara stood in the hangar bay as the human pilot emerged from her craft. The woman was smaller than expected, with brown skin and determined eyes. Even facing certain death, the human showed no fear. This impressed the princess more than she wanted to admit. The 2 females faced each other. Across the metal floor, Zara spoke first, using the human language she had learned. "You fought well for such a primitive species." Lisa straightened her shoulders, despite her exhaustion. "We may be primitive, but we do not give up. We protect what we love." Zara found herself curious about this strange emotion humans called love. Her people had no such concept. They conquered and dominated. That was their way. But humans died for love. They sacrificed themselves for others without any logical reason. For the following days, Zara kept Lisa as a prisoner but treated her well. She provided good food, comfortable quarters, and even entertainment. The princess told herself it was for interrogation purposes, but the truth was more complex. Lisa refused to give up military secrets, but she spoke freely about human culture. She told Zara about music and poetry, about friendship and family, about how humans found joy in simple things like watching sunsets or sharing meals together. The princess found herself drawn to these conversations. Each day she visited the human prisoner. Each day she learned something new about the strange species her people were destroying. Meanwhile, the Vex fleet continued its assault on Earth. Cities burned, millions died, but Zara began to feel something she had never experienced before. Something the humans might call guilt. One evening, as they sat in Lisa's quarters, the human pilot looked directly at the alien princess. "Why are you doing this? Your people have technology. Beyond our dreams, you could explore the stars, discover new worlds, create amazing things. Instead, you choose to destroy." Why? Zara had no answer. The Vex had always conquered. It was their nature, their purpose. But Lisa's question planted a seed of doubt that grew stronger each day. The princess began to study her own people's history. She learned that the Vex had not always been conquerors. Once they had been explorers and builders. But over thousands of years, they had become something else. They had forgotten their original purpose. Lisa noticed the change in her captor. The alien princess seemed troubled, distracted. She asked fewer questions about Earth's defenses and spent more time staring out at the stars. During one of their conversations, Zara made an admission that surprised them both. "I have been watching your planet for months, studying your species. I expected to find nothing but violence and chaos. Instead, I found something beautiful, something worth preserving." Lisa leaned forward, sensing an opportunity. "Then help us. You have the power to stop this. You could save both our peoples." Zara laughed bitterly. "I am just one princess among many. My people would call me a traitor. They would execute me without hesitation. But Lisa would not give up. Sometimes one person can change everything. Every great change starts with someone willing to take the first step." The princess considered these words. She thought about human art and music, about their capacity for love and sacrifice. She thought about what her people had become and what they might be again. That night, Zara made her decision. She accessed the fleet's communication system and sent a message to all Vex ships. Her words were simple, but they carried the weight of revolution. All commanders of the Vex fleet, I am Princess Zara, daughter of Emperor Krath. I order you to cease all attacks on the human homeworld immediately. The response was swift and angry. Her father's voice crackled through the communication system. Daughter, you have lost your mind. Return to the flagship at once. But Zara was not finished. She opened a channel to every ship in the fleet. Both Vex and Human Eye have spent months studying the humans. They are not the primitive savages we believed them to be. They are capable of great beauty and great love. They create art that moves the soul and music that touches the heart. They sacrifice themselves for others without thought of reward. She paused, letting her words sink in. We Vex were once explorers and builders. We created wonders that spanned galaxies, but we lost our way. We became destroyers instead of creators. The humans can remind us of what we once were. They can teach us to find beauty again. The fleet commanders were silent. Zara had spoken, words that many had thought but never dared to say. Lisa watched in amazement as the alien princess risked everything for a species she barely knew. It was the most courageous act the pilot had ever witnessed. Some Vex ships began to withdraw from Earth, others remained loyal to the Emperor. A civil war erupted among the stars, with Zara leading the rebellion against her own father's tyranny. In the end, it was not superior firepower that won the day. It was the power of an idea. The idea that there was more to existence than conquest and domination. Many Vex had grown tired of endless war. They yearned for something more meaningful. The Emperor's forces were defeated, and Zara became the new leader of her people. She signed a peace treaty with Earth and began the long process of rebuilding Vex society. Lisa became Earth's ambassador to the Vex Empire, working closely with the princess to establish a new era of cooperation between their species. Years later, as they stood together watching the sunrise over a rebuilt city, Lisa turned to her alien friend. You gave up everything for us. Why? Zara smiled, her 4 eyes reflecting the morning light. Because you showed me that there was something worth saving. Something beautiful in the universe that should not be destroyed. You taught me that love and compassion are not weaknesses, but the greatest strengths of all. The princess had learned that sometimes the most splendid thing about someone is not their power or their status, but their willingness to change, to grow, and to choose love over hate. And that lesson changed not just 2 individuals, but the entire galaxy.